What up, gang? These are prison stories by prison writers. This is a story by Jeremiah Kelley in Indiana. I have some very serious questions to ask. So, why is it so very important to teach our children the difference between right and wrong? Why is it so very important as parents, as teachers, and simply as adults to teach our children to set goals in life, to have morals and principles to stand on and to strive to become the very best they can be? Everywhere I look, everything I read in newspapers and magazines, everything I see on TV daily is talking about how very important it is to show and to teach our children how to grow and become good, productive citizens in this crazy society. Don't get me wrong, I strongly agree that all the above is indeed very important. Children are simply the future everything in this world, whether it be positive or negative. Yet at the same degree of importance are those same children, now grown, that were raised, taught, and guided since birth by a complete monster as a parent and teacher, right? What about those children that were abused mentally, physically, sexually, and emotionally throughout their whole childhood? What about those children that were raised, taught, and witnessed firsthand the extreme violence and aggressiveness to anyone at any time is simply just part of daily life? What about those children that are and were beat? I'm not talking about a little ass whooping kids get for being bad. I'm talking about being knocked out, black eyes, busted lips, noses, welts up and down their backs and legs, often being locked in a cold, dark basement. What about those children that wake up in the middle of the night, often to see or hear the monster beating their mother? All that can be heard is their mother screams and pleads for the monster to stop, and the horrible sounds of the monster continuing to smack, hit, kick, and punch their mother. That child being completely overwhelmed with feelings of helplessness and the emotion of complete hate. Have you ever known a father to stand there with his little son held by the neck and make that little boy smack his own mother in her face? Making the mother bend down in front of her little son and accept being slapped more than once because the first time was simply not hard enough for the father. Have you ever truly known a child to be raised and taught by a complete monster? Well, I am one of those children, now grown with many issues and mental scars stemming from my terrifying and shocking childhood. So I ask, what about those same children the whole world claims to cherish so much 20 to 30 years later? Too many being in prisons or hospitals, lost and forgotten, myself being in boys' schools, jails, and prisons for more than half my life, where they diagnosed me with many mental disorders and have placed me on numerous psych medications. And one of my sisters being in and out of shelters, hospitals, and jails for the past 15 to 20 years, in which right now, as I write this, she is awaiting trial for stabbing a 13-year-old little girl. As a society, we are so quick to throw those same children, now grown, to the side and into this wicked system. A system which clearly does not work for the betterment of nothing, not society, not the taxpayer, and most definitely not the person being thrown into the wicked system. Many and most believe that these are not children anymore. They are grown. They know right from wrong, and they are able to make their own choices and decisions. Yet if that is indeed true, then I must ask, why would it be so very important to teach our children anything to begin with if they will automatically know everything once they are grown? What age is actually grown? I agree. Physically, we appear to be grown, yet mentally and emotionally, we still become that little child at times. Still very confused, scared, and simply paranoid of this world and everyone in it. I often am not able to make clear and sound decisions, mentally and emotionally feeling unsure and unsafe, similar to how I felt when I was a child. As a child, I felt completely helpless. There was absolutely no way I could ever go up against a monster and help my mother and sisters, not alone by myself when we all desperately needed it. There was no way I could tell anyone about the situation going on at home. Since birth, it was beat into me that what goes on in the home stays in the home and should never be talked about. There were often questions at school when I was allowed to go. Most of the time, if I had visible marks, the monster wouldn't allow me to go. I was interviewed by child services a few times, yet I just told him the story I was always told to tell. It happened while I was playing ball or fighting in the park. Never did I ever think about telling the truth. I'm not writing this article to try to sell for profit, nor to make a name for myself. I'm composing this to simply bring more awareness to society of the seriousness of not just the children going through the struggle right now, yet also for the adults that were indeed one of those helpless children. Hate and violence. It's in almost everything I see, everything I read, the newspapers, it's in daily life. In fact, it's been so deeply rooted within myself, it's taken precedent in my life for too many years. For as far back as I remember, the very ignorance and darkness that is the essence of hate and violence has been taught and engraved into me to the point where I began to accept it as being rightness. Just a fact of life, a part of becoming and simply being a man. From my father's ignorance to the ignorance of darkness that all these institutions I have been placed in for over 27 years breeds. Hate and violence have simply been my answers to every situation or problem that has ever presented itself to me. Little thoughts with seeds of doubts have entered my heart and mind. After time, those thoughts and doubts has manifested such a deep down want to change within, a passion and desire to stand up against the hate and violence. My true self has slowly prevailed, and I refuse to continue to concede all the hate, violence, the ignorance, and darkness that has been a part of my core being all my life. I would like to take a moment to truly apologize to the community where I was born, raised, and will be coming back to. I am truly sorry for allowing myself to indulge and to circulate the hate, violence, ignorance, and the darkness I have for so many years.